Hi, in this video, we're going to be looking at 3D problems. We're going to revise the question from November 2019. Most of the information is in the diagram. You can pause the video to read the question. I'm going to start at 7.1, which says determine AK in terms of X. Now to find AK, we're going to look at triangle ADK. You'll notice it's a right angle triangle, and we have two options. We can either use SOHCAHTOA. So if we're using SOHCAHTOA, from 60 degrees being our point of reference, that will be the opposite side, and AD would be our hypotenuse. Now sine 60 dictates opposite, which is AK, over hypotenuse, which is X. We can put sine 60 over 1 and cross multiply. We'll get AK times 1 is AK. Sine 60 times X. Remember, you can find sine 60 with your calculator, which is root 3 over 2. So we've solved 7.1, which says find AK in terms of X. We can also use the sine rule in saying AK over sine 60 is equal to X over sine 90. So the sine rule is the other option. Moving on, the next question says write down the size of KCF. We're going to KCF. Now, on the top, you will notice they tell us that EFCD are two identical rhombuses. So the point we're interested in, that EFCD is a rhombus. And if it is a rhombus, then we know that angle D and angle C must add up to 180 degrees, co-interior angles. So we can say that KCF is equal to 180 minus 60, which gives us 120 degrees. And the reason is it is a rhombus. 7.3, the question now says it is further given that AKF, and we're looking at AKF, the angle between the solar panel and the concrete slab is Y. Determine the area of triangle AKF in terms of X and Y. So they want us to find the area of AKF. And they tell us that this angle AKF is equal to Y. Remember in 7.1 we found that AK was root 3 over 2x. Now if we want to find the area of this triangle, we need AK and we need KF as we have angle Y. So we need to use the sides which are adjacent to angle Y. Unfortunately, we don't have KF. So we need to change our focus to find side KF. And to do that, I'm going to look at triangle KCF, or if you're hungry, KFC. So if we look at triangle KFC, we want to find KF. Now you notice that KF is opposite the angle, which is 120 degrees. So do we know how long KC is? And do we know how long CF is? Remember, the question said it is a rhombus, and they also told us that we have identical rhombuses. So that means because these two rhombuses, the one on the top and the one in the bottom, are identical, if AD is X, it means that CF is X. We also can see that side DC is bisected at point K. In other words, DK and KC are equal. But we know the whole side DC is X because it's a rhombus. All the sides in a rhombus are equal. So each part has to be half X or X over 2. So we have enough information to find KF. We've got a side, include angle, and a side. We can use the cosine rule, the cos rule to find KF. The cos rule states that to find KF, we can write down the formula, and I'm going to explain the formula. KF squared will be equal to x squared plus x over 2 squared minus 2 times x over 2 and cos of 120 degrees. So you can see your cosine formula, and which is equal to x squared plus x over 2 squared minus 2x in brackets x over 2 cos 120 degrees. Now we can square this, x squared over 4, and if we multiply this into x over 2, the 2's will cancel off, and x times x is x squared. So we're going to end up with minus x squared, and cos 120 degrees on your calculator is negative half. So we have x squared plus 1/4 x squared minus times a minus is a plus half x squared. These are all like terms, so we can just add the coefficients 1 plus 1/4 plus half, and you can use your calculator, giving you 7 over 4 x squared. Now remember, that is kf squared. So to find kf, we're going to find the square roots, which is root 7. The square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of x squared is x. So we found kf, and we're going to put it down to our diagram, root 7 over 2x. Returning to the original question. Remember, the question was to find the area of triangle AKF. So we have the two adjacent sides to angle Y. So the formula will be half of root 3 over 2x times root 7 over 2x times sine Y. So we're using the area rule, which is half AK times KF times sine of AKF. And we're going to substitute AK because we have it to be root 3 over 2x. We're going to substitute KF as root 7 over 2x and sine of Y. We can work this out. Root 3 times root 7 is root 21. X times x is x squared. And 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So we have x squared root 21 sine Y all over 8. Thank you.